Hey everyone, it's Todd from Gila Games, back with another video about Rising Star 2. Today I'm going to be talking about how some of the music scene and community relationship stuff works. So let's dive right in here. I'm going to look at the band info first. You see right here your reputation in the current city that you are. I'm currently in Detroit. And your popularity. Now I just made this game. It's a new game that I just kind of set up for this demo, so I don't have any popularity, haven't done any shows, haven't played any gigs, but I have gone and watched some shows at some of the venues, and that is really critical to create relationships with bands and venues. So if you look at the other bands button, this shows a list of all the other bands in your current city, and by default it sorts by the most popular at the top. And you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, see where your own band is. And it also shows where the next gig is for each one of these bands, so that if you want to go see this band, let's say like this, it asks if I want to set my destination there, so that when I go out to the city it's automatically set. But let's go back in here. You can also sort by relationship. Now we can see that I have some relationship with some of these bands. This is from going to see them play their gigs. And then this is really important because once you get enough relationship with these bands, they'll start to call you. They'll give you phone calls, invite you to play opening slots on their gigs, or just ask you to come out and support them during a battle of the bands that they're in, or something like that. And it's important to increase these values, because that's how you start to get your own gigs. Once you get your own gigs, or once you get in the gigs, then that's when you start to generate your popularity. Once you have enough popularity, then you can start getting your own headlining gigs, get a manager, get a record label, get a record deal. So that's important there. Now, look at the calendar. It's Friday, which means if you look at the concert guide, there's going to be a bunch of shows tonight, and this is how you can determine where you want to go to help boost your relationship with bands and venues. So I like going to the battles. They're usually full with 4 different bands, because some of these shows there's only one band. There's 4 in this one. There's 2 here. But the more bands there are at the show that you go see, better, because you're generating relationship with more bands overall. Now you can see at the venues that I've already been to, it'll tell you what your reputation is currently. So if you're interested in trying to build up a reputation with a specific venue, you can continue going to the same one. Now once you have enough reputation at a venue, it also helps you to go there and just book your own gigs. You can just show up at the venue, look at their calendar, and if the calendar has some openings that show blue on the calendar, you can click it and just book it without anybody calling you. So that's where the reputation with the venue comes in, but most importantly. I'm also going to look at the album charts here. Now the album charts, it shows the top 100. This is the current position and last week's position. Now you can click on any, and this is for the entire United States. It's not just for the current city. So this is the top 100 charts. If you click on any one of them, you can see when it was released, the total sales, and then a history of sales and chart positions. This one's only been out for a week or so, so there's not a lot of chart information. So here we go. This one's got 4 weeks worth of chart information. See, it went from, it debuted at number 5, stayed at 5, went up to 1, then dropped down to 2. But despite the fact that it dropped down to 2, its sales have increased between those weeks. It's just that this one had more sales during that week, so it hit number one. And this is really interesting to look at, especially for your own releases. Once you have your own releases out, just to see how they're performing. See, a lot of them they start out strong, then they just decline. Some of them start weaker and build in strength before they decline. So it's really interesting to look at these. The newer ones, like this one's only been out 1 week, so there's not much information here. But it's just fun to look at. Now after now these are all computer bands that are just part of the overall scene and community in the game. So once they fall off the charts after they stop having enough sales, you just won't see them again on the chart. You might see another release by the same band, but once a release falls off the chart, it pretty much doesn't recover. Like this one's at 77 now. It was 96 last week. It actually jumped up quite a bit in the charts, but the sales are going down, and eventually in a few weeks you might not even see it on the chart anymore. Because the lowest selling one on the number one spot is 32,660 sales in 1 week. Man, this one's at 39 last week, so and it lost 6,000 sales in a week. So it may not, maybe in a couple of weeks it won't be on the chart anymore. Anyway, that's an overview of how the community stuff works and the importance of relationships and reputation. Oh, one other thing that popularity does for you is it allows you to hire a manager. Managers won't work for you until your popularity is high enough based on their own standards. Each manager is a little bit different, so you can shop around. But once you get some popularity, eventually they'll start calling you. So you won't miss out if you forget to check. All right, thanks for watching again. Like us on Facebook, check us out on Steam, add us to the wish list, and subscribe on YouTube. Have a good day.